Oh boy, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Buckles Locker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. Woo! Shout out to all the Power Seed Banks, man. It's been good to be back. It's good to be back. Did you miss me? What you thought I forgot? What you thought I wasn't gonna say nothing? Just because I wasn't making videos, that don't mean I didn't see everything. Jason Garrett clap, first down. You know what I'm saying? First down. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So I haven't made a video in a couple of weeks. I had some things going on, but that's part of life. You know, nothing bad, but you know, we ended a tough 4-game stretch, 3-1, which was the goal. You know, I thought that the Bucs will, finish 3-1, 2-2, but they went 3-1 in a tough stretch, which is great for us. First down. Yeah. So we 5-2. I mean, I've read the comments from some of the Bucs fans. There's some ungrateful Bucs fans, man. They not happy with 5-2. What y'all thought we was gonna go? What did some of you guys thought we was gonna go undefeated or something? Like, yeah, I read some Bucs fans talking about, oh, we lost the game against the Lions. Oh, we shouldn't have lost against the Eagles. Sir, ma'am, we're 5-2. Jesus Christ. Like, what the hell do y'all want the Bucs to do? Go undefeated? That's not happening. I told y'all that. Actually, I'm glad the Bucs lost. Because I just sometimes you just gotta know how to lose. You know, as what makes a great fan base is when your team lose, how you conduct yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like when you lose, when your team loses, how do you conduct yourself? You know what I'm talking about? So I don't know why everybody's frustrated and mad about the game on Monday. I was not surprised one bit. Now, as far as losing the game, now as far as what happened in the game, kind of surprised. Now, as far as us losing the game, not surprised. It was on the road, tough environment. You know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? So the two games that we did lose, Detroit and Philly, they will be in the playoffs. So the teams that we lost to will be in the playoffs, which is great. Right? Everybody else we lost to. Now, oh yeah, now we beat the 49ers. So we did beat one playoff team, right? If the 49ers don't fall apart, because they kind of like us, a lot of injuries, right? So we played 3 playoff teams. Oh, I'm sorry, 4. I'm sorry. Seattle, 49ers, Eagles, Lions, and we went 2-2. So far, right now, we are 2-2 against playoff teams. We're 2-2 against playoff teams. That's great. I mean, of course, you want to be 4-0, but we're 2-2 against teams that we will see in the playoffs. So the Seattle Seahawks game, flip a coin, because whoever won that game, it is what it is. Like I remember that Seattle game reminded me of a couple of years ago when the Bucs played Seattle when Winston was the quarterback and Winston was bombs away like Baker was, but the defense couldn't make a stop. They couldn't stop Seattle. But this time around, the game was crazy. Baker made plays, Sam Darnold made plays, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Emeka, but the Bucs defense got the interception, and we got the ball back, kick the field goal, game over. You know what I'm saying? So watching that game, I was ecstatic and frustrated, but you know, we got dub. But that game right there was literally flip a coin. Flip a coin in the Seattle game. So but we got that dub. You know what I'm saying? Well, then we played the 49ers and we beat them. That was the first team we beat with no drama. 30-19. And then we played the Lions. You know, we were already banged up. So you knew at some point that what was happening with the Bucs was not sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Like that was not sustainable. And I told y'all this. Those last minute wins, you can't it's going to be so hard to sustain that type of play for 17 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got 4 wins in the last minute, right? So that's not sustainable. You know, sometimes you just got to win the game. Like, we beat the 49ers, or the Bucs beat the 49ers straight up, 30-19. That's great. That's how you're supposed to win the game. For the 3 quarters, they struggled with the 49ers, and then the 4th quarter, we kind of took over, right? Mac Jones turned into a pumpkin in some situations, but we beat that team 30-19. They're 5-2, right? So when you look at high in sight, we're good. You know, I think we're still a top 10 team, right? But at some point, the Bucs, the injuries was going to catch up to them offensively. That's where the Bucs, the defense did what they could. The defense played well against Detroit. Now I'm gonna filter over to the Detroit game. The Bucs lose the game 24-9. The Bucs could have scored more than 9 points, but Baker was so off that game, and you could tell. I think Baker's hurt a little bit, but he's like trying to fight through it. And then not having Mike Evans, you know, we're gonna get to that in a second. You know, Godwin's fibula, which he's out the next game against the Saints, and Bucky Irvin is out. They're gonna be out this game, and they got the bye, and they'll be back after the bye. All right, and the Saints is a trap game, by the way. It's a trap game. But anyway, as I was saying, we lose. Mike Evans come back, gets back in the game, makes a spectacular catch. Well, it was a catch, in my opinion, but then he hit the ground, but he didn't complete the catch, right? Hit the ground, concussion, and then he laid on the ground. Everybody, like, I'm thinking it was a hamstring. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it was a hamstring. I was like, oh man, Evans hamstring again, hamstring pop finally. You know what I'm saying? But then he got up, he walked off. He wasn't grabbing his leg or nothing like that. He was holding his arm, his shoulder. I'm like, did he break his shoulder? So reports came back, broken clavicle. I had a broken clavicle before. It took 8 weeks. You know, it took 8 weeks to just get back to normal. But I hurt my clavicle playing football in the rain. And when I tell you folks, yeah, it might take 8 because it was a clean break. It might take 8 weeks. I had a fracture. It might take 8 weeks, but playing football at a high level, they probably should keep him out until like 10 to 12 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like 10 to 12 weeks, the Bucs should not bring him back in 8 weeks, in my opinion. As someone that has broken their or fractured their clavicle, a fracture took me out 6 to 8 weeks. He broke his clavicle, clean break. You know what I'm saying? I would not bring Mike Evans back until probably the playoffs, to be honest with you. Because what's the point? You're a playoff team, and I think they rushed him back. You know, I think they rushed him back. I think they rushed Mike Evans back. I don't know. I think they could have just sat this game out, maybe brought him back against the Saints, had him in a snap count. But you got a bye coming up too. You know what I'm saying? But he broke his clavicle, out for the most of the rest of the season. He'll probably be back like week 15, 16, maybe. But I wouldn't, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even when he gets back healthy. Like, they rushed Godwin back, right? This is what they did with Godwin. And the Bucs are very finicky with their injury reports and who gonna come back. Like, why didn't Bucky Irvin? I know I'm all over the place right now, but I'll center this around to the point I'm trying to get. Why didn't Bucky Irvin go on IR? Why didn't they put him on IR? Why do the Bucs organization do this with their players when it comes to injuries? They did it with Ryan Jansen, Luke Gedicke. Oh, he's going to be back in 4 weeks. No, he's done. He's done. Like, he's out for most of the season. Like, why do the Bucs organization, why do Todd Bowles do this when it comes to Bucs injuries? They could have put Bucky Irvin on IR. And I said this. They brought Chris Godwin back too early. He goes out there and plays 2 games, and his fibula can't hold up. All right? J-Mac coming back after the bye week. Mike Evans is going to be done probably till week 14, 15, 16. So at some point, you knew the injuries was going to catch up with us. So if you go back to the Detroit game, the Bucs got a lead 3-0, but all those red zone chances was field goals. Field Field goal, another field goal. Baker missed some throws. He was very jitterish. Did y'all know the Bucs O-line, even with Tristan Wirfs, they gave up like there were some reports that the Bucs O-line gave up 15 pressures. Some of it said 20 pressures. Now think about that for a second, folks. With the great Tristan Wirfs at left tackle, the Bucs gave up 10 plus pressures. Baker was hit so many times. So many times to the point that when he had time, he didn't know what to do with himself because he was thinking about getting hit. And the Detroit Lions front seven did a spectacular job not letting Baker Mayfield run around. See, once you can't run around, you got to sit in that pocket and deliver. The Detroit Lions did not let Baker Mayfield do his patented run and get the team fired up. The Bucs O-line did not do a great job. Yes, including Tristan Wirfs. He's a part of the O-line. That's what he played, right? So let me get that straight. Was there some good? Tez Johnson? Yes. The Bucs defense played the best they could. But Baker Mayfield had his worst game of the season so far. He didn't look comfortable in the pocket. And when he had time in the pocket, I don't know if he couldn't see. Because, Baker Mayfield's not a tall quarterback. I stood next to Baker Mayfield. I was right in front of him 2 years ago. He's not super tall. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's not super tall. So when he was in that pocket, go back and watch the game, he missed Tez Johnson on an easy throw. He missed Omega a couple times. Like, it was some plays that some guys was open, but I don't know what was going on with Baker that game because he usually makes those throws. And then the offensive coordinator didn't do a great job. The running game was non-existent. And I know people try to hype up Rachaad White. And I like I said, good third down back. But, fam, trying to summarize, he's an RB number one. Rachaad White is not an RB number one. I don't know why they try to hype him up. Like, the last couple games, he's not done a great job running the ball. Newsflash, folks. Newsflash. Newsflash. Rachaad White is not an RB number one. You know what I'm saying? Like, no offense, Rachaad White, but you ain't it, buddy. I never got behind the hype train. When Bucky Irving got hurt, I was like, man, the running game's going to be effective. And right on cue. The last couple games, the running game has not been great. Right? Deshaun Tucker got in there. Like, the Bucs O-line just got destroyed. Destroyed. Like, I knew at some point, and we've seen this in a few games this year with the Bucs O-line, and we've gotten away with it. The Texans game, the Bucs O-line got destroyed. The Falcons game, the Bucs O-line didn't do the best job, right? Those two games stood out right away with the Bucs O-line. Even the first half against the 49ers, the Bucs O-line didn't do great. The Jets game, the Bucs O-line was shaky there. At some point, your talent will show up. Your depth will show up. And we've gotten away. Remember now, we got 4 wins in the last minute. Did y'all know overall, and I'm going to double check on this, but the Bucs have been outscored. Outscored as a team. Points for versus points allowed. I got to double check this because this can't be true. I'm going to double check it right now because I saw a stat and I'm like, there is no way the Bucs have been outscored as a whole. Like points for. Yes. So the Bucs have scored 174 points and allowed 175 points. Mind you, we 5-2. Now think about that for a second. First down. Amazing stat. Remember, folks, we're probably about 4 plays from being 2-5. Think about look how close as far as the game of inches. The Bucs are 4 plays away from being 2-5. The Bucs are playing a dangerous game. They've won 1 game straight up against the 49ers. That Lions game, if you go back and watch that film, throw that film away. I'm talking about offensively. The Bucs defense, they played well overall. I gotta give them that credit. They kept the Bucs offense in the game. Like, come on, guys, give us some help. Right? Jahmyr Gibbs. Whew. Remember, here's another stat for y'all. I'm gonna put y'all on some more game. When it comes to running backs, the Bucs linebacking group are the worst in the NFL. One of the worst. So Vontae Dennis plays a big role in that. Think about that for a second. Bijan got us. Jahmyr Gibbs got us. What is happening with our line? Now a lot of us knew about the linebacker situation. Not the best, you know what I'm saying? But Savasier Dennis, he makes the linebacker group even worse when it comes to covering running backs. I couldn't believe that stat. I'm like, damn, the linebacker group is not great. Shout out to number 35 and another interception. Winfield Jr. He's had an okay season. He had an okay season. So far. He's not been to the Winfield Jr. that we grew to know. The 2020 version, the 2021 version, the 2022 version, right? But these last couple years, man, got that big contract. He ain't been looking like no top flight safety. I'm just saying. Still a good player. I think he's still top safety. I think he's still top player. But he's had that long run with Jahmyr Gibbs, misfit. He missed the hole. I mean, the hole opened up and Winfield Jr. went to the middle of the field. And then when I saw Jahmyr Gibbs break that, I knew Winfield. This is why Winfield Jr. Remember now, people don't even forget this. Winfield Jr. used to play cornerback. Winfield Jr. used to play cornerback. They moved him to safety because of his speed. He's not fast, and also he has good IQ, a great IQ. When Jahmyr Gibbs broke out, he beat the angle. He beat Winfield's Jr. angle and went 88 out the gate. I was like, goodness gracious, Winfield Jr. running in slow motion or something? Where's the speed at? And then right after the game, a couple days later, toe injury. What you mean toe injury? You didn't like you had a toe injury then? All of a sudden, Winfield Jr. got a toe injury. Where'd that come from? I'm just saying. Where'd that come from? 218 yards to one player, man, 2 touchdowns. The Bucs don't have no answer for guys like that. You know, Hassan Reddick got hurt, and I didn't do no total research on him, but they say he got carted off. Well, I didn't I had got up out my seat. But he got carted off. Or did he got hurt too? So I'm like, what's going on with him? Let me see, injured. So what happened to Hassan Reddick? You know what I'm talking about? So it was a knee and ankle. Because I'm trying to figure out what's the status on him, but the Bucs and their staff is weird. So it's a knee and an ankle. Because I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, they ain't got really nothing on it. I'm like, God, like, give us something. But the Bucs defense did what they could. I'm gonna keep saying that. But that was impossible for the Bucs defense to keep playing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it wasn't a great game, but oh, it was a knee and ankle injuries. Oh my gosh, that's even worse. So now we don't have our premier pass rusher. What else can go wrong in this season? At some point, this stuff will catch up to you. And these are the type of games that can cause a problem. Remember, we had this happen the last couple years. We had this happen the last couple years, a game like this, a WTF game, and all of a sudden the Bucs go on a spiral. But this year it didn't happen. But these are the type of games that can cause problems. Baker throwing the ball like 50 million times. Josh Gizzard, Gazar, I'm sorry, Josh Gazar called play calling and chucked the ball around. The game was not even out of control. He chucking the ball around. Can anybody explain that? Can anybody explain why we chucking the ball around 50 million times? The game was still in reach. Stick with the run. But obviously, Rachaad White is not the best running back, or he's not a great running back. His vision's still cloudy to me. You know, but there's a lot of issues going on with the Bucs. A lot of issues. You know, Baker threw the ball 50 million times, 212 yards. The interception wasn't even his fault because Cade Otton, once again, couldn't catch the ball correctly and got out muscled. So the interception goes to Baker. So, you know how it goes. You know, it doesn't matter if the receiver does bad, but it goes on Baker record. Baker missed some D shots to Mecca, you know, Ted Johnson, Sterling Shepard. He was just off. He took 4 sacks. The O-line struggled. You know, Amon St. Brown got off a little bit. I'm like, what's going on here? Levante David got injury issues, and Hassan already got injury. Like, injuries will catch up to any team, not just us. And then the fact that Baker Mayfield had 212 yards against a Lions secondary missing 4 guys. Teron Arnold, Avonte Maddox, Kirby Joseph, DJ Reed Jr. was not playing. They had their 4 starters out. And we could not take advantage of Home Depot and undrafted free agents and Home Depot workers. Like, why Baker should have had about 400 yards. And then they lost another cornerback, a veteran cornerback during the game. They had undrafted free agents and 5th round picks and 7th round picks in the secondary. And they was playing with a lot of confidence. Remember, sometimes it's not about the players, it's about coaching. Shout out to the Lions DC, Kelvin Shepard. Shout out to their DC, young ex-linebacker. He used to play LSU, by the way, and the NFL. Kelvin Shepard. He did a great job against the Ravens, and then he did a great job against the Bucs. Those cornerbacks are not good, folks. Don't get it twisted. I don't even know how that even happened, but it happened. Home Depot, undrafted free agents, practice squad DBs. I'm like, how are they getting all these breaking up passes because of bad balls by Baker? And they had good coverage. They was playing man, they was playing zone. Like, remember, as the season progresses, the more tape they get on you as far as what you like to do, they will shut that down. Kelvin Shepherd got the blueprint. The Texans had the blueprint. The Falcons got the Baker got to be able to recognize and cipher through man and zone. Like 1 minute, the Lions secondary playing man, and it was and the thing about it, it was situational football. Baker Mayfield was struggling with. It was situational football on third. There were some plays they doubled a Mecca. They doubled a Mecca and say, everybody else, you got to beat your guy. And the Bucs had no answer. The defense allowed 400 plus yards. Jared Goff didn't have a great game, but the second straight game, the Bucs defense has allowed 400 plus yards. Missed tackles, poor angles. No, I think they did get a sack. I think they did. No turnovers. The Lions controlled the whole game. Untimely penalties, field position. But the injuries are piling up to the point where it's like, this is too much. If the Bucs don't get the injury thing under control, and it's out of their control, to be honest with you, but at some point, these things will catch up to us at some point. Because from an overall perspective, the Bucs are doing great, but the Bucs are playing with thin ice. Do you hear me? Oh, like 350 plus, multiple games, back-to-back games. Matter of fact, 3 straight games of 350 plus. My bad. Three straight games, 3 straight games of 350 plus. We intercept Golf. Golf had an interception and a fumble. That's right. That's what it was. Golf had an interception. Number 35 intercepted the ball, and then they had a fumble. 3 straight games, 350 plus, I believe. The defense, man, I can't even really get mad at the defense because they played well. But it's the injuries, and I'm not using injuries as an excuse, but it's catching up to us finally. Like I said, we got away with some W's, and I'm happy we did. But you think that's going to keep happening? What you seen Baker do to those 4 wins in the last 4 minutes in the last minute? That's not sustainable, folks. That's not sustainable football. With the injuries that we have in key positions, you can't keep winning like that, especially against playoff teams consistently. You'll get a game here and there against the better teams, but you will not consistently win games at the last minute. Now, can it happen? Yes, it happened to us last year. The Chiefs were 9-1 in 1-score games, so it can happen to us. But you don't want your team to be always having to win last-minute games because the ball or interception goes our way. The ball get thrown off of somebody's helmet, interception. McLaughlin kicks a field goal. We get the dub, a la Seattle game. We can't keep relying on that. We got to wait for a Baker Mayfield scramble to get pumped up. The Bucs defense got 2 turnovers. 2. And they sacked Goff a couple times. Now, once again, pass rush still in question because I think at least half of the Bucs sacks have been off of blitz. I think half of the Bucs sacks are off a blitz. I think the Bucs got maybe 18 sacks total, maybe 19. I'm not sure, but at least half of those are non-defensive linemen. I think we still need a dominant pass rusher. I'm telling you, Anthony Nelson missing tackles. Like, what's happening? Like, Anthony Nelson has done nothing this year. Nothing. We got no dominant pass. Vita shows up in spots. He'll show up in pockets with his pass rush. But he's not a Leonard Williams or a Jeffrey Simmons. He's not a Chris Jones. He'll get a sack here and there or two here, but we need consistent pressure. Like, our D line should have looked like Detroit's D line Monday night. Why can't we get just a pass rush all night long, hitting the quarterback, dropping 7, rushing the quarterback with 4, and getting pressure and hitting the quarterback all night long without blitzing? Why do we have to keep blitzing all the freaking time? Why can't we just rush 4? Detroit Lions was rushing 4 most of the game. They were not, and they were lane disciplined. You could tell they watched tape against the Bucs. You could tell. You could tell they watched the tape. You could tell. Situational football, they had the Bucs looking goofy. They had Josh Gazar and Baker Mayfield looking goofy. Goofy. Situational football. Baker Mayfield was in the pocket, all jittery and stuff. And when he realized he couldn't run nowhere, it was game over. They was, oh no, baby, you gotta throw that ball, fam. You gotta throw the ball. And remember now, trying to play quarterback, you got 6'4" guys in your face, your lineman in your face, your defensive lineman. And Baker had a couple balls batted down. Had a couple balls batted down. I was like, God, leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about this game in particular. I'm not talking about the season. We're 5-2. We're good. We're fine. I'm just talking about this game and what I saw at this game. Remember, when we win, I talk about the great things. Of course, that's easy. But see, when we lose, some of you have a hard time talking about what went wrong. It's okay to talk about what went wrong. This is not to down the Bucs and say, oh, the Bucs are terrible and oh, they horrible. Folks, we're 5-2. We're fine. But when we have games like this, we got to be able to come together as a fan base and talk about it. Because when we win in, it's chest bumping, high fiving like Raheem Morris back in the day, Youngry. I got my sleeves on, got my bands on, we 4-2 together. But then as soon as we lose, you don't want to talk about it. As soon as we lose, you don't want to talk about the messed up play calling and the lack of attention to detail and all that. Oh no, see now you're hating. No. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it when we win. Oh, let's celebrate. Let's drink a lot of booze and all this. And then we lose. No, you can't talk about it. You can't make no videos about losing, Bucs. You can't talk about that. No. You tripping. What? Which one is it? You can't play both sides, buddy. We lose. I gotta talk about it. Gotta talk about it. They were the Detroit Lions in situational football. I'm gonna keep underline all caps, underline. Situational football, Detroit Lions was on it. They were not going to let Baker run around and scramble around and all that. And some of you said, oh, the Detroit Lions had a spy on it. That's cool. So you mean to tell me when Baker can't run around and make plays with his feet, the Bucs offense look like that? Don't. Now I'm not saying that that's how it's going to look moving forward. All I'm saying is I want y'all to jot this down. I want y'all to jot this down. Check mark this game. And I want to see what every team do after this game. Because what the Detroit Lions did, That's how you stop pretty much a lot of teams with quarterbacks that are Baker's like top 5 when it comes to scrambling. EPA. Like scrambling EPA, Baker Mayfield is that dude. But if you take that away, because a lot of the big plays, to be honest with you, it came from Baker Mayfield running around off script. A lot of the big plays, Baker had the Philadelphia touchdown, Mecca, that long touchdown, it was a broken play. I think the only one that was on script was the Tez Johnson big touchdown against the 49ers. But he wasn't even the main read. But I want to see what every team do after this Detroit game, because if they do the spy, and I want you to sit in that pocket, Baker Mayfield, because there was a couple times where he was in the pocket. I'm like, dude, you got time. You got time. You got time. You want to talk about crypto? I mean, come on, man. Now, don't get me wrong. He wasn't getting pressure. I mean, he was getting pressure. Don't get me wrong, but there were some plays to be made. He had some time now. Don't get it twisted. But it was like he in that pocket. It's like he was ready to take off. You know what I'm saying? Like he was ready to take off, and when he couldn't take off, he was like, "Oh shoot, what do I do?" Like, nah, come on, calm down, Baker. You got it. But then he was overthrowing the ball. Yeah, yeah, I know about Baker scrambling. He scrambles quite a bit. A lot of, like I said, about 80 to 90% of the big plays were off of his scrambling, escaping sacks, rolling out, getting away from a sack, whatever. But when Baker had to play from the pocket Monday night, he didn't look great. And the Detroit Lions had rush lane disability. I mean, not disability, rush lane responsibility. They knew, okay, tape shows us Baker Mayfield, when he doesn't get his first read, he likes to drop his eyes to the line of scrimmage and look for a scrambling lane. It was all by design by Kelvin Shepard. Push up the middle, and we're gonna push him to the, like, they make the calls at the line. Like they'll make the signals, they'll make the call. We're gonna push him left, and we're gonna push him to Aiden Hutchinson. We're gonna push him to the other pass rusher. They was doing that all night long. Yes, he had Kelvin Shepard had Josh Gazar looking goofy as the Bucs had 251 yards total offense, 41 yards rushing. Go, I'm telling you, I watched the film, folks. Like I'm watching it again. They planned this out so perfect where they knew we're not going to let Baker Mayfield have any rush scrambling lane unless we decide. Depending on the situation, down and distance, aka situational football. 3rd and 9, we're going to push Baker to his left because he likes those right to X, Y, and Z. There was one play, he literally looked at Emeka. Emeka was bracketed. Go back and look at it. Y'all remember the play? Don't tell me I'm not the only one that watched the film. I'm watching it right. There was a play where Baker Mayfield in the shotgun, it was 3rd and like 8. He got the ball and he dropped back. He literally looked at Emeka and he was bracketed because he was expecting man coverage. He literally looked that way and he stayed with the look. Then he came off the look. I was like, holy crap. He was going to throw the ball to Emeka anyway, but he couldn't because he was bracketed. Then he looked over to Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard covered. Tez Johnson was covered. Like Tez Johnson, he gets open, but I think a lot of his plays need to be screen passes. Like I think down the field with him, it has to be a deep ball or a screen pass. Like, exactly. Bomb for Christ. Bingo. I'm trying to get people to understand this. Bingo, right here. The best comment so far, right here. This is the best comment, folks. Josh Gazard was lost, a deer in the headlights. Couldn't do nothing with what Kelvin Shepherd was doing. Kelvin Shepherd gonna get a head coach job at some point down the road. Go back and watch the film, folks. There was a play where Emeka was double covered, and Baker still looked that way. He didn't want to come off the look, but he had to. And the minute he did that, the way the rush was designed, it took him off that and it made him roll right. It was like they dictated when Baker Mayfield had to move. Like it was 1 minute, it was bracket coverage. Next minute was cover 3. Next time it was robber. Next time it was cover 2. Next time it was a man over man zone, man under zone. It was like, dang. But this is what happens when you don't have the correct game plan against a defense like this. Now, mind you, this was not a fully healthy Lions secondary, and they did that to us. And what, like I said, and what hurt the Bucs, 41 yards rushing. $41 yards rushing. 3.8 yards per play with a practice squad secondary. The Bucs was 4 for 16 on third downs. 66 total plays. They allowed 4 sacks. The Bucs sacked Goff 4 times. I think 2 of them came off a blitz, or maybe 3. The Lions offense was 3 for 13 on third down. The Bucs defense did what they could. The Bucs have allowed 350 yards plus 3 straight games defensively. So there's something going on with the defense. I'm not saying the defense is food. I think they're food in pockets. Like I don't think you can consistently get chunk plays on the Bucs, like consistently up like the Seahawks did. The Seahawks did it, right? The Seahawks did it. Don't get me wrong. But the Bucs in situations, they can be food. Their defense can be food. You just got to know what you're doing. Like the Kyle Shanahan offense, the Clint Kubiak, the Kyle Shanahan tree. The Sean McVay tree offensive scheme gives the Bucs problems. But like I said, I'm not even mad. Like I'm not mad overall. It just concerned, like moving forward, like this ain't sustainable. Baker Mayfield was 28 50. 50 times? Like, where's the running game? Josh Gazard? Like, why do you want Baker Mayfield on the ball 50 times when Mike Evans is out? Godwin's not there. Emeka's kind of like not 100%. No Bucky Irvin. You're weak at tight end. Rashad White ain't much of a running back. Just that game would have been a lot closer if you just ran the ball. And Graham Barton, what's going on with Graham Barton? Getting ragdoll. Like getting ragdoll. Like getting pushed to the back. I'm gonna keep saying this. Graham Barton is not a center, man. I don't even know why the Bucs did that. I still don't like that move. I still don't like the move. Then they try to move the left tackle. No, he's a guard, and they got him at center. Like I don't like that move. I never will like that move. Like the middle of the pocket was getting pushed all night long. I'm watching the game, folks. Like, why is he at center? Does anybody know the reason why? Can anybody explain that? Rashad White, 10 carries, 38 yards. Sean Tucker, 1 carry. Sean Tucker get 1 carry? Like, what are we doing here? Like, this game was weird. K. Dot 7 catches for 65 yards. But of course, Baker Mayfield all of a sudden is going to spam K. Dot, but that's not going to equate the wins. That's not going to equate the wins. Spamming K. Dot. Michael Jordan at guard was terrible. Number 77 struggled. He struggled a few times in a few games, but he's done okay. But that depth, like not having Cody Mulch, which I don't have high hopes for, but maybe he'll turn it around next year. And Luke Gedeke was a very pivotal piece that he's not playing. He's going to be missing most of the year because of his foot. They talking about he was going to be back in 4 weeks. I'm like, okay, whatever. But Graham Barton, man, what are we doing there at center? 10 carries for 38 yards? Like, where's the push at? They tried to run left to Tristan Warside. That didn't work. They tried to run right to Michael Jordan's side. He was getting dog walked. Number 77 couldn't hold up against Aiden Hutchinson consistently. Every now and then he'll get the best of Aiden Hutchinson, but for the most part, 20. Thought there was a stat that said the Bucs O-line allowed 20 pressures. 20 pressures, man. Like Baker Mayfield, he's in the cold tank right now. Hypocryogenic chamber right now, trying to recuperate for the game against the Saints. The Saints, that's a tricky game. The Saints been scrappy. They're not great, but they've been scrappy. So Sebastian Dennis had a sack. Taki Smith has been playing well. I still don't like the too small safety look. I don't like it. I'm going to stick with that. I'm not coming off of that. I don't like two safeties, 5'10", 5'9". I don't like it. Anthony Nelson had a sack. Yaya Diaby, he got his sack early in the game. Yaya Diaby's sack was early, right? Cam Johnson had a good return, but it was a penalty. I believe that was a penalty on that one. But yeah, I think Tez Johnson can be a weapon. I just think his best ability for him is deep balls and screen passes. That way he can like wiggle out of tackles. Oh, Braswell. Oh, number 43. What are we doing there? What are we doing with number 90? Number 90 and number 43. What are we doing there? Give me Elijah Simmons. Put him in the game more often. He said, "Crash dummy." Crash dummy. Crash test dummy, Josh. So let me ask y'all this. Remember what Todd Bowles said about Chris Braswell in the preseason? Does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember that? You remember the bet? Does anybody remember? Anybody? What's up? What's up, Grislow? I'm good, man. Does anybody remember what Todd Bowles said about Braswell, number 43, in the preseason? We like where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Woo out the woo, woo out the woo, woo out the woo. Like what? Like, wait a minute. Logan, number 90? At this point, what has he done for us lately? I'm thinking he's gonna have a jump. He's regressed. Like, remember, Logan Hall was the top of the second round pick. Braswell, second round pick. And these dudes have not been great. Look at the passing discrepancy. Emeka has 54 targets. The next closest person, Sterling Shepard. I was about to say Russell Shepard. Sterling Shepard with 34 targets. So Baker Mayfield is literally spamming Emeka. Teams are going to pick on that. And the Lions did that. The Lions said, oh, no, we got you. Cade Otton got 31 targets. Bucky got 19. Ted's got 19. Mike Evans had 31 targets. Rachaad White got 22 targets. Chris Godwin got 14. Y'all want to know why we 5-2? Baker Mayfield and Emeka. That's why we 5-2. Two people. Our leading tackler is Tyke Smith at 58 tackles. Savasi with 52. Levante with 47. Zion with 36. Jacob Parrish with 35. Winfield Jr. with 35. Why is our secondary got so many damn tackles? Diaby got 22. Dean got 18. Vita with 17. Nelson with 17. Hassan Reddick with 16. Hassan Reddick has 1.5 sacks for the season prior to his injury. 1.5 sacks. $14 million. 1.5 sacks. Can anybody explain that? Diaby got 4 sacks. Diaby has 4 sacks in 7 games. So if you project that out to 17 games, he'll probably get 8 to 10 sacks for the season, which is a good thing for him. A great thing. Hassan Reddick, $14 million, 1.5 sacks in 7 games. Can anybody explain that? Can anybody explain that? Well, what did I tell y'all about Hassan Reddick before the season started? Let me see if anybody paid attention. What did I tell y'all about Hassan Reddick before the season started? Where does he need to be at when it comes to sacks? Because if you watch this game and the game before that and the game before that, it's like, what's going on there? Randy Gregory. Braswell, no sacks. Give me Elijah Simmons and CJ Brewer. Let's see them play more. Red Gaines, nothing. Goose egg. I mean, not saying goose egg, but nothing out of him really. Logan Hall, 14 tackles, no sacks. 1 tackle for loss. I'm just giving y'all at the 7-game point, the 7 games after 7 games. After 7 games, this is what we're working with. The depth will be tested. Do you hear me? Number 90 and number 40 has a combined 0 sacks. Number 43 and number 90 has a combined 0 sacks. I want to see more Elijah Roberts. And I want to see more Simmons. I don't want to see 96. I don't want to see 90. We need juice on that D line. I keep telling y'all this. Deion Jones, non-factor. So here's our sack. Here's our sack numbers when it comes to our D line, outside linebackers. Yaya Diaby with 4. Hassan Reddick, 1.5. That's 5.5 total from the outside line. Well, 6 with Anthony Nelson, 6.5. 6.5 sacks for my outside pass rushers. Non-outside pass rushers. Now we're talking about D-line. Vita with 2.5. Elijah Roberts with 1, so that's 3.5. Greg Gaines with 1, that's 4.5. CJ Brute. So 5 sacks from the D-line. 5 sacks from the D-line. So that's what? 11 and a half sacks between the outside linebackers and the D-line. The Bucs got a total of 20 sacks total. So 8.5 is from non-D-line outside linebackers. We're getting no return on investment from number 43 and number 90. Can anybody explain to me what's going on with those two guys? So let me ask y'all this question. At the seven game point, does anybody see anything with number 43 and number 9 that's going to give you hope? Before I wrap this up, but yeah, Rachaad White, man, it's not it, man. 64 carries, 252 yards, 3.9 yards a carry. Even Bucky Irvin wasn't having a great, like our O-line. Our run game has not been great this season, folks. Outside of a couple plays here and there from Bucky, our running game has not been great this year. Like for real. And the reason why we're averaging 4 yards to carry, because Baker Mayfield alone is averaging 7.2 yards to carry. Every time he runs the ball, averaging 7 yards per run. The Bucs are averaging 4 yards a carry, but don't let that fool you, folks. If you just focus on the running backs carries and yards, we're below 4 yards a carry, big time. Outside of Baker scrambles, we are like 3.6 yards to carry. So right now, Baker has to play Superman. Shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. Shout out to Baker Mayfield in the Mecca. My gosh, our running game is not good, folks. I know injuries, O-line, and all that, but golly, man, and I think that's going to take a toll. Like they're asking Baker to do a whole lot. In the contract year, players tend to play a little extras, with an extra bit of sauce and arm or farming. But my goodness, Baker, man, he's doing his thing. He's trying to get paid. But that's a lot of weight on Baker Mayfield to make plays with his feet, to keep drives alive, and also throw the ball in a timely fashion and make plays like through the air. And we're relying on a rookie to carry the receiving corps. Remember, I told y'all. See, let me put y'all on some game. I think some of y'all know this already, but when it comes to contract years, how many times do we see players play extraordinary well? We've seen this, folks. How are y'all not? Oh, Dean is the best cornerback in the league. Oh, Dean is this. Oh, Baker Mayfield's playing out of his freaking mind. Yes, it's a contract year. Come on, guys. Do you understand that part? It's a contract year. Of course he's going to play out of his freaking mind because he knows this is his last contract. Even Baker knows that. They damn near have career years in the contract year. Number 35 has never done this before. We know what he is. Matter of fact, they was talking about it during the Lions game. Benjamin Morris was in the game. They kept panning the camera over to number 35. Even though Jamel Dean is playing, even though number 35 is playing great, Benjamin Morris still getting run. He's still getting plays. He's still playing over Jamel Dean. Number 35, aka number 35. So they already told number 35, we're moving on with Benjamin Morrison, regardless of what number 35 do. Regardless of what number 35 does, Benjamin Morrison will play. What I mean, number 35 can get 2 more picks and have 5 picks. It doesn't matter. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna put it out there, folks. That means his trade value goes up even higher. Maybe the Bucs get a 2nd round pick for number 35 if they do decide to trade him for a pass rusher or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want number 35 to keep playing well, because at some point, come on, Jason, you got a team that got a chance. That's all I'm saying, folks. The Bucs gotta get healthy, man. Like, we got a good team, man. I really believe that. But we gotta get healthy, man. It's gonna be hard to win a lot of games when we can't get healthy. I'm just saying, man. All is well, but hopefully the Bucs can pull through, man. But if the Bucs trying to get to the Super Bowl, which I hope they trying to, we're not going to be a fully healthy team. Next year we'll be fully healthy, but this year we will not be fully healthy, and that's unfortunate. And that's unfortunate. But I mean, we could trade for Brian Burns, nine sacks right now. We could trade for Brian Burns. Kevon Thibodeau, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips. Chop Robertson. That's all I'm saying. But shout out to all the Pirates Sea fans, man. I appreciate y'all, joining me. I know I haven't been on here. I haven't been on here for a few weeks, but I see everything, folks. I see it all. You know what I'm saying? I see everything. And the Bucs will be all right. We just got to get healthy, man, and watch out for this trap game right here against the Saints. That's a trap game. Got to be careful about that game. Can't get too lackadaisical. The Saints been scrappy. They're not going to win a lot of games, but they've been scrappy. I've been keeping my eye on them. They're scrappy as hell. So we'll be all right. Because when we get that bye, right at that bye, we got 2 hard games. I think the Rams and the Bills, back to back. So we got to get ready. Stretch run coming up. So we'll get some players back. But Bucky, Godwin, Dez John, T Mac. I'm sorry, not T Mac, J Mac. You know what I'm saying? We'll get some guys back, but we got to pull it together, man. We can't lose focus as a fan base. We'll be all right. We're going to the playoffs. The Kitty Cats behind us, the Carolina Kitty Cats, they 4-3. And the Atlanta Falcons, inconsistent team, they're 3-3. So they're right behind us, So we got to be on our P's and Q's, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, man, thank y'all for joining me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Patriots look really good. My bad, the Patriots. I'm sorry, the Patriots after the bye. Yeah. The Patriots ain't no, hey, look. I thought that was going to be an easy dub. Apparently it won't be. Damn, we ain't got no easy games. The Panthers looking all feisty. The Falcons give us problems. The Patriots looking good. The Bills and Rams, like, damn. Them 2 games against the Panthers won't be easy. But anyway, we'll be all right. Shouts out to all the Pirates Sea fans, man. Thank y'all for joining me in this live stream. With that being said, Fire those cannons. Seize the day. Raise the flag, man. We'll be all right, folks. Hashtag get healthy, man. That's all I'm gonna say right now. Get healthy. I'll see y'all again, man. I'm signing out. Deuces.